Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. And this morning, I have been bombarded with questions about the crypto prices. Why is Cardano plunging? Why is XRP plunging? Why is the crypto market going down? And guys, to be very honest with you, there's almost always a very easy answer. And that answer is supply and demand. There doesn't have to be some sort of crazy type of news happening for the prices to fall down. And that is exactly what we are witnessing right now. No real reason, nothing really too certain, anything like that. Literally, if we look at the articles and look properly as to who are buying and what institutions are getting in, we're noticing institutional adoption is at an all-time high. Institutions want to get into crypto, and even though they only have, for example, I think about 4% of all the crypto in existence is in a couple of big firms in total. It's gonna keep getting bigger, guys. And understand, right now there's actually only a really small handful of institutions, yet it's still at an all-time high. It's only going to keep getting more and more and more severe. And I really firmly believe that in 5 years from now, it'll be really strange if you come across a big hedge fund, for example, that does not have some exposure to crypto. Same thing for all those pension funds and any fund manager out there. If they're against crypto, it's going to be odd, right? And that's the power of thinking longer term. I remember 4 or 5 years ago, guys, how many people really thinking crypto could go to $1 million, Bitcoin I'm talking about? Not that many. How many thought that, again, in 2016, that XRP would ever be $10? Almost nobody. Right now, I see it as a minimum. That's the power of thinking a little bit longer. These guys are buying. Morgan Stanley has now reported to the SEC that they've been buying a freaking bump truck of Grayscale BTC Trust shares, and they're just buying a freaking chunk of the Bitcoin stock. And sometimes people might wonder why they're buying stock instead of Bitcoin itself. Well, guys, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is actually the closest thing to an ETF. I guess MicroStrategy stock might be a little bit closer to it, but it's basically so it's easier to tell people and it's easier on the balance sheet because obviously, for the accounting purposes, think about it. It's way easier to just buy stock and have it act like every other stock you've ever held than buying a foreign currency, but not really a currency for ease of payments, but currency as an investment vehicle. It's kind of odd. At least I would assume that might be one of the reasons. Then the Ripple v SEC settlement hopes falter as parties move to extend the discovery deadline. Let me bring back to you guys this point. I firmly believe that a settlement at one point or another may happen, and I still believe it's going to happen this year. Why? Well, even though there's been a deadline change, it is only for the expert discovery, not the fact discovery. And even though things might have shifted by a couple of days, maybe at max 2 weeks or so, it's not that big a deal. And I'm still on the Jeremy Hogan bandwagon of, well, they got to fix their stuff first. They're going to file motions for summary judgment and whatnot. And the case has to expand a little bit before it can shrink again, as right now they have to throw all their cards on the table. And the point there is, they haven't even done that. The 31st of August on this channel, we're going to be covering the SEC v Ripple hearing, which is, for example, going to discuss about all the documents which the SEC has to hand over, but also, of course, the fact that Ripple just found some new critical info that they're going to use against him. But all those cards have yet to be thrown on the table, and ultimately, we don't even know what we're missing from the SEC. The SEC still has to depose the founder and CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen. There's a lot of stuff which still has to be done, right? So it can't be too soon. The only way I could see it happening within September is if the judge on August 31st here allows for Ripple to get access to all information that the SEC has, and the SEC just gives up, goes to towel in the ring, throws it, and comes to a settlement conclusion. Because I firmly believe that Ripple is at some point or another willing to settle, even though they are almost certain that they will win ultimately. I think they would obviously be willing to settle because, well, you have terms, SEC has terms, and you probably will be able to figure something out. That is just business, right? It's no real hatred. It's all business and all this higher ups levels. So ultimately, they'll figure out a conclusion if they have to. And yeah, that's just the reason I'm thinking, well, it could be September, but most likely it will take a little bit longer yet. All this settlement talk is not off the table. It's just not necessarily anytime too soon. It's not within a couple of weeks anymore, like some people earlier expected. Then the exchange Liquid that 11 million XRP, I believe, got hacked from. They've actually secured themselves some pretty hefty debt financing, 120 million bucks. After losing more than $90 million worth of crypto assets to hackers, Liquid Global has received 120 million in loan from leading crypto exchange FTX, which I think is rather interesting. I really think this Sam Bankman-Fried here is a freaking visionary to some degree. This guy is so crazy with his risk, but so smart and all that stuff too. I find it really beautiful to see it like that. But apparently, the firm's joint venture with FTX is vital in delivering top-notch services and innovative products to its customers in Japan and other parts of the world. So it's not as if it's completely like a nice thing to do. No, it's obviously strategic from a certain perspective. Yet, it's still kind of crazy to me, right? It still is kind of crazy to me how big FTX has built themselves out in such a short amount of time. And I don't know, even though I have no connection to FTX whatsoever, I feel kind of proud of what they've done in the crypto space. Now, on Binance, on the regulation and on the crypto company exchange, there we go, and UK regulator, Binance is not capable of being supervised. Little fun fact, apparently founder and CEO of Binance CZ is based in the Cayman Islands. I didn't even know that, really? Or just Binance the company, maybe. While the UK Financial Services Regulator, the FCA, has said that crypto exchange Binance has refused to provide basic information about its business, which is rather interesting because a little bit earlier, yesterday even, I think maybe even today, I think yesterday, we saw Binance post that Binance has basically complied with everything. The firm complied with all aspects of the requirement, and as far as I know, complying means that you're. Let me look it up for sure here, guys. What does complying mean? There we go. It means act in accordance with a wish or command. Now, are unable to comply with your request. That means to not be able to do something. Meet specified standards. So, from that perspective, if the latter is true, of an article meet specified standards, that means that the firm, Binance, complied with all aspects of the requirements. Then that means they're doing good, right? So, I'm not exactly sure what this contrast there is, where Binance is unregulatable, sort of, but then also doing good. Here it says that the UK's Financial Services Regulator, the FCA, has said that crypto exchange Binance has refused to provide basic info about its business, concluding that Binance Markets Limited is therefore not capable of being effectively supervised. Quote, the FCA considers that the firm's responses have been incomplete and have included direct refusals to provide info. These include failures to provide details about how the business and group are organized, end quote, the FCA said in a supervisory notice. The FCA added that the firm has refused to explain what routes UK customers could use to purchase products and to identify the legal entity that sits behind the Binance website, Binance.com. I also find that difficult sometimes because I would think that governments around the world could work together to find that out, right? I mean, obviously, if Binance, if the UK company for Binance gets sued, that another company, let me say it differently. There should be one company in one country that books the profits from all the freaking euro or GBP or whatever transfers, right? So if you're wondering what company in what part of the world operates the Binance.com, well, it's mostly about where the money is coming from, right? I don't know, I'm just kind of thinking about it like that. But whatever. All right, so let's move on because we have more stuff to talk about. Renowned analyst affirms XRP price will rise to $10 after brief. Pretty funny, but I've shouted this out so many times, I sometimes get kind of sick of myself. I've talked about $10, $20, $30 per XRP so ridiculously often, guys. Pseudonymous analyst behind the Twitter handle Credible Crypto states that XRP looks primed for volatility and is likely to hit between $20 and $30 this bull cycle. XRP consolidated for 10 days, and despite a clear outlook on where the altcoin is headed next, analysts predict that the breakout is underway. XRP, worth $10.4 million, was recently transferred to a Nexo account in a transfer that cost 0.00012, implying that XRP transaction fee is minimal and transactions on the XRP blockchain are still scalable. But ultimately, this is just another prediction, another idea that there's quite a lot of gains which are easily possible. And I believe most of us guys in the crypto and the XP community specifically are just happy, satisfied, and have a high expectation of it because that's just the most, I guess, logical way to think about crypto right now, about XP specifically. Then 5-star hotel in the Swiss Alps starts accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nothing too significant, but pretty cool. Literally, guys, if I can, you know what? I might actually find this. I might actually go over there. Let me quickly see. From now on, hotel guests can choose one of the 2 largest crypto if they pay more than 200 Swiss francs, roughly 280 bucks, 18. Not a spontaneous decision. The hotel has been mulling over accepting crypto for 4 years. You know what, guys? I already, no, you know what? I was already thinking about going to the Swiss Alps. I'm going to keep this open for just DVC purposes. And if I should actually text them to take XRP. And if they can, I'll go. Let me see. So what's the name? I'm not sure what the name is, but it doesn't ever say the name, I think. It nowhere says the name. And I'm also wondering, does this mean that you have to pay 200 Swiss francs extra to stay there? Maybe it's like a freaking $1,500 per night hotel. I'm not going to stay there. I'm not. Then again, if it's something, okay, never mind. Here it starts. Given that the price of a double room starts at 550 bucks, the hotel has made a wide move by catering the growing number of crypto millionaires. Still, though, the restaurant group of American billionaires announced that restaurant group Landry's would start accepting Bitcoin back in April. So it takes 200 extra bucks to accept crypto then? Never mind, I'm not going then. That's kind of stupid. I guess you could just use a crypto card then, and you're just spending dollars or euros. This is the dumbest thing in the world. I guess if you're a money launderer, this is your place. Otherwise, if you're a normal person like most of us, this ain't it, chief. This ain't it. Or does it just mean, oh, never mind. I guess if you're buying something worth more than this, you can spend crypto, I guess. Then it's okay. If it's XRP, I might go over there for one day, because 500 bucks, that's a lot of money for one room. All right, that's 500. Oh, it's crazy how much you would just have to work. If you're working in the grocery store, for example, just working a normal banking job, damn, that's a lot of money, right? So just kind of thinking about that, just like that. In crypto, I also wonder if you guys feel the same way. If you have your money in crypto, for example, $1,000 in crypto feels so much kind of like less, sort of, than $1,000 in your pocket. Somebody slaps me, slaps me $1,000 in my hand. I'm like, oh damn. If I see $1,000 on my little screen like that, it's like, oh, nice, interesting. You guys feel the difference right there? To me, it's really significant, though. I don't know. I just wanted to quickly make that clear. And all right, it's not the first time, it's not the second time, not the third time that I accidentally stopped my recording again. I really want to slap myself in the face for doing that stupid ass stuff, but I did it. I wanted to say, make sure you go ahead and check out Bybit. A link is down below. It is the exchange I personally use, and right now, there are up to $3,600 worth of bonuses that you can get. So make sure you check it out. A link is down below. DustDBC is the team that I'm in, and this right now is a team competition, so you might want to check it out. And then also we had a couple of other articles that Coinbase just appointed a Facebook vet as chief marketing officer, and Stellar likely to consolidate, but that's not really too truthful. It's just following with the rest of the market, so that's not really too much. I'll cover this on 5-Minute Crypto now too, though. But guys, make sure you check out the competition. There's even an ad for it right here. That is pretty damn crazy. Check it out. Link is down below. There's also other cool things to check out on Bybit. So once more, check it out. A link is down below.